Welcome to Le Circuit, Mont Tremblant, Quebec, for round 5 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian McGorman, along with Pat Gonzalez, for what begins the second half of our drive to the crowning of the Canadian Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup champion. Richard Spinard has a commanding lead in the point standings and is also our leading money winner so far. But amongst the rest of the field, the standings are tight as a result of the close racing throughout the first half in these equally prepared Turbo 944s. And that means the qualifying strategies are getting more aggressive. But at the same time, everyone recognizes that consistent race results are the key to success and a trip to the podium when we come back for the finals. Constant attention to qualifying times and race positions as related to the championship point standings is becoming critical. Here's Pat with a look at how that information is shared between the crew chiefs, the real strategists in this game, and their drivers.
All teams in the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series use some form of a communication system to keep their driver informed during a qualifying session or during a race. The pit board has long been the standard for car racing. It is used at the pit wall, but you can only communicate one way and only once per lap with the driver. Other teams use different technology to create a two-way communication system. Andre Godet, crew chief for Jacques Bienvenu, uses a two-way VHF radio system. Bienvenu's helmet is fitted with earpieces and a microphone that is actuated by a button on the steering wheel. Other teams employ even newer technology. This is the popular Mobira cellular telephone that is used by the Heimrath racing crew to communicate with their driver. Team manager Bill Smolovsky uses this unit, and in the race car, Larry Caruso has a helmet that is specially fitted with earpieces and a microphone. Before the start of a qualifying session or the race, Smolovsky simply dials up the phone number for his driver, and they can conduct a conversation back and forth throughout the qualifying session or the race. As Caruso is informed of laps remaining, his times that he's running, or any incidents that'll occur during the qualifying session or the race.
Thanks, Pat. We saw some of the drama at work just this morning as Spinard tested his car on both wet and dry tires while his crew constantly monitored the rest of the field. I asked Richard what goes through his mind as he sits and watches, knowing he already has the fastest time.
Well, the best time was done on a dry pavement, so the car was behaving very well. It was a good lap, and the track was fine yesterday. We pulled out a very quick lap of 151.7. Now today, having a wet track, it's a different ball game. We haven't had a chance to drive the car with the wet setup, we call, which different tires and probably different suspension adjustment. This morning we would have wished to be able to do that, but it was just not wet enough. It was just in between. Matter of fact, I went out with wet tires and I came back and put the slicks again. So in between, we couldn't find out if the car would behave well, if it would be a full wet race. So we're going to guess. We're just going to go out with rain tires, with the Pirelli Rain, which is a full tread, obviously. And hopefully the car will handle as well as the other guy and be able to win the race like this. But we don't have a chance now to go out and practice the way the car will be for the race.
It's been a real test for Spinard and the rest of our Turbo Cup competitors, but the marks that count for the final grade have yet to be determined. Everyone's a little nervous because the weather's starting to clear, so the question of wet or dry tires really comes into play. Stay with us for the start from Le Circuit, Mont Tremblant, right after this. Welcome back to round 5 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series from a soggy Mont Tremblant, Quebec. I'm Brian McGorman with Pat Gonzalez. Officials have declared this a wet race, but all the drivers are going with their slicks. That means there won't be a stoppage if the rain comes halfway through. We're just about set for the start. Here's Pat Gonzalez with the grid.
Row number 1 has the 2 proven speedsters from this season so far. Richard Spinard has won 3 of 4 events. Rick Bai won round number 2. Bill Adams shares the second row with Richard Laporte. Both of these drivers are experienced enough to jump at any mistake up front. Norman Boyer and David Tennyson are on row 3. This is Boyer's best Turbo Cup grid position ever. Tennyson is capable of record times at this track.
In row 4, you have Uli Bieri and Jacques Bienvenu. Row 5 has Jacques Leliev and Reinhold Schill. 2 Americans on row 6, Porsche regular Chris Gleason and 7-Up guest car driver IMSA star Davy Jones. Ludwig Heimrath runs Larry Caruso's car with the 7T designation after blowing the engine in his own 944. Len Campbell is in car 11. Rounding out the field, it's Ted Powell, Mark Quentin, and Peter Overing in car number 88.
Richard Spinard and Rick Bye bring the field onto the start-finish straightaway, looking for the flagger's green, and there it is. We're racing at Mont Tremblant. Rick Bye and Richard Spinard side by side into turn 1, and moving up the inside is number 3, Bill Adam, right behind Spinard. Richard goes out in front. Rick Bye will fall into that second-place position as Bill Adam runs back into third-place spot. You're on board Rick Bye here on the opening lap. About 3 or 4 car lengths separate the front-running 2 drivers, and then the train of Rothman's Porsche Turbo Cup cars follow in behind the leader, Spinard. Jacques Bienvenu battling at the back with Uli Bieri in the 40 car. Bienvenu, who had a fine 5th-place finish the last time here at Mont Tremblant, as Spinard leads them.
It isn't raining, Pat, but back in the fact the visibility from the spray is terrible. Once again, everyone is on slick tires, banking on the fact the track will dry even further.
The drivers pushing these cars to the limit on a rather wet racetrack. There is the leader, Spinard, closely followed by Rick Bye in the Reebok Porsche, then Bill Adam in the black and white Toshiba Porsche as they head up the back straightaway here at Mont Tremblant. Richard Laporte in the white number 5 Porsche runs in 4th. Norman Boyer in the red car there was back in 5th after a fine qualifying effort. The drivers hard braking into the S's. It is still Richard Spinard, your leader. Rick Bye 2nd, Bill Adam 3rd, Laporte, Boyer, Tennyson, and here comes Davy Jones up the inside of Jacques Bienvenu. He will pick up the position at the end of the straightaway.
Well, he made it look easy going past a very experienced driver, one who's very familiar with the wet conditions. Just after his first qualifying session yesterday, Pat, Davy Jones told us what he thought about driving these Porsches.
Well, I don't get a chance to drive street cars too often on the racetrack, and really to take them to the limit and really feel what they're all about as far as braking, acceleration, cornering ability, and that because you're normally in a full-blown race car, whether it's a Jaguar or Porsche, whatever. So to be able to get into the 944 and do that, taking it to its limits, I find comparing it to other street cars that I've driven, it's probably one of the best cars I've ever driven on the racetrack, and look forward to driving it on the road someday.
Now here's Ludwig Heimrath. Now he's used to driving these Porsches everywhere, and now he's taking Len Campbell for 13.
Campbell trying to get by Heimrath through turn number 1. You're back with the leader, Spinard, going through Rick Bye, then Bill Adam and Richard Laporte. A bit of a gap back to Norman Boyer, and you're now with the 7th place driver, Uli Bieri, as down to the inside goes Davy Jones. Jones has picked up yet another position, and now Jones starts to pull away from Bieri. Here's your leader, Spinard, over the crest of the hill and back off the end of the straightaway going into the S's. Rick Bye, the number 3 car of Bill Adam and Richard Laporte. Those 3 drivers very close together. Then the red car there of Boyer, followed by Tennyson.
Pat, here's Spinard, the leader, but we have word that Bill Adam has gone off the track, but has been able to continue.
Adam has only lost 1 position. He is running back in the 4th place spot. He was able to stay ahead of Boyer, and here is the battle involving Jacques Bienvenu in the white Dicom Express Porsche. Right behind him, Uli Bieri in the 40 car, and then Jacques Liliev in the other red Porsche. They're the number 16 cars. They're coming on the start-finish straightaway. Jacques Bienvenu taking over that 8th place position. Uli Bieri drops back into 9th. Bieri, who ran up as high as 7th earlier, but he has dropped back a couple of positions. And for the moment, you're with the 9th place driver, Uli Bieri, as he continues to lose ground to Jacques Bienvenu, as Jacques, who is known for his driving on a wet racetrack, continues to pull away from the Porsche of Uli Bieri.
Earlier, Uli told us what he thinks about driving in wet conditions like these.
I don't necessarily like it very much, but you know, I drive always very well in the rain. I think you have to take a little bit more of a chance, and as well, if you're a very smooth driver, I think you get much further in the rain than, you know, on the dry.
The leader, Spinard, approaching corner 7, named Charlton Corner after veteran corner worker Chuck Charlton.
The top 10 looks like this. Richard Spinard has the lead, Rick Bye 2nd, Richard Laporte, then Bill Adam, Norman Boyer in the top 5. David Tennyson is 6th, Davy Jones in that 7-up guest car is 7th, Jacques Bienvenu, then Uli Bieri and Jacques Liliev.
The cars heading for the far hairpin. That is Auguste Lecour keeping track of his 2 drivers, Davy Jones and Bill Adam.
Pat, here's Rick Bye trying to keep tabs on Richard Spinard. I asked Rick what was on his mind as we came here for the 5th race.
Well, we had a disastrous first race and ended up with 0 points. And since then, it's worked out pretty well for me. We've got a win in 2/3. And, you know, we've been, luck has been with us. And car's holding up and the guys in the crew are working their hearts out. I don't like to make any predictions, you know. I don't want to paint the devil on the wall, but I think things are going okay for us. I think we're going to be all right. I'm looking forward to the second half of the season.
Richard Spinard continues to lead Rick By with Richard Laporte in third. We'll be back with more from Mont Tremblant, the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series, in a moment.
Welcome back. This is the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Championship, Race 5 from Le Circuit, Mont Tremblant, Quebec. You're on board with Jacques Bienvenu, and moments ago, while trying to keep pace with Davy Jones, look what happened. Jones scoots ahead of Bienvenu through turns 5 and 6. He completely forgot about braking for corner 7 and squeezed past Uli Vieri. And this is a really tricky move in these conditions on slick tires.
Norman Boyer up in Enamoro just ahead of David Tennyson, and on the inside Davy Jones will take over that 6th place position as he gets around David Tennyson. So Jones often flying here. He continues to climb his way up through the top 10, having moved ahead of David Tennyson as they come on the start-finish straightaway now. Jones pulling away from Tennyson and starting to reel in Norman Boyer, the 5th place driver. You're on board with Jacques Bienvenu as he closes on David Tennyson. Bienvenu under braking into this right-hand turn is right on the rear bumper of David Tennyson as they go into the left-hander. Bienvenu alongside, he'll pick up the spot.
You know, earlier Bienvenu told us how to handle these cars in the wet conditions.
Because this car have over 250 horsepower with the tire we have, the Pirelli, you have to change your line to try to find more grip on the track. You know, because if you try to brake or accelerate at the same line you use normally, you always have oil on those places. You have to change the place completely. And that way, you may gain a couple of seconds on the track, and you may gain some place too.
There is the leader, Richard Spinard, as he completes yet another lap. The gap back to the 2nd place driver, Rick By. Then it is number 5, Laporte in 3rd. The 4th place driver, Bill Adam, going through. And then we've got a big gap back to the battle for 5th. Norman Boyer in the red car coming under fire from Davy Jones. And Jones pulls alongside, takes over that 5th place position going into turn 1. The racetrack continues to dry out here at Mont Tremblant. The racing line just about 100% dry right now, just a little bit damp off the racing line as the speeds have climbed here in the last few laps. There you can see the interval back now to Davy Jones. The question is, can Jones catch the front-running 4 cars and try to climb to the front to go after Spinard? Right behind him it is Boyer in 6th. The 7th place driver then would be Bienvenu. There is Spinard over the crest of the hill as he brakes into the S's. Richard Spinard with about a 20-car length lead over Rick By in that yellow and white Reebok Porsche. Then it is the white car there, the number 5 Porsche of Richard Laporte, and then Bill Adam in the number 3 Toshiba Porsche. Those 4 drivers well ahead of the rest of the field, and you're on board with Jacques Bienvenu now as he challenges Norman Boyer at the end of the straightaway, and Bienvenu has moved into the 6th place position. So again, Jacques showing his mastery here of a wet racetrack. The number 29 Porsche of Reinhold Schill, he runs back in the 12th place position. For the moment, Reinhold Schill running all by himself. You're on board the number 40 Porsche of Uli Vieri. Vieri, who ran up a lot higher in the top 10, but has been sliding backwards. The close racing continues all the way through the field. Mark Cantan, number 77, going around the 35 Fujifilm Porsche of Ted Powell, as they've been having a go at each other for the last few laps. The leader, Richard Spinard, is starting to add to his lead. He's pulling away from the number 8 car of Rick By, and now Bill Adam right behind Richard Laporte. The 2 drivers almost touch coming out of that far hairpin as they head up the back straightaway. Rick By, Richard Laporte, and Bill Adam very close together. Spinard well out in front. Here comes Bill Adam down to the inside of Laporte into the S's, and Adam will take over that 3rd place position. A beautiful outbraking job there by Bill Adam as he has moved into that 3rd place position.
You know, Bill Adams started this race on brand new tires. They weren't even scrubbed, so he may have just a little more grip than some of the other drivers.
Well, he is closing on Rick By as they come up into Namaro. Spinard still with a pretty good lead, but Adam is definitely on the charge, having pushed Laporte back into fourth, and now he's going right after Rick By as they come across the start-finish line onto the pit straightaway. They're side by side going into turn one, but Adam just couldn't get through as Rick By moves over to take the racing line away.
This is a really tricky part of the course because you have to be off the brakes before you get into that turn. Otherwise, the car will slide to the left.
Rick By continues to hold off Bill Adam. Adam going right after Rick By for that second place position.
And here's your leaderboard. Richard Spinard continues to lead. Rick By is second, then Bill Adam, followed by Richard Laporte and Davy Jones. Normand Boyer is sixth, Jacques Bienvenu seventh, David Tennyson, then Jacques Leliev and Uli Bieri.
The race for second place is really heating up. Bill Adam going right after Rick By. The leader, Richard Spinard, with a comfortable margin over that ferocious three-way battle going on for the number 2 spot. Rick By gets a little bit wide there in the hairpin. Bill Adam gets a good drive coming out onto the back straightaway. Bill Adam works the draft off of Rick By's car. He pulls almost alongside over the crest of the hill. Adam trying to outbrake Rick By off the end of the straightaway. He's down to the inside, and he will take over that second place position. A brilliant move there by Bill Adam as he takes over the second place spot. Now Rick By shows a wheel to the inside of Bill Adam, but he cannot retake that second place position.
You're looking from inside Rick By's car, and this is what he sees, the taillights of Bill Adam. Adam has driven a tremendous race so far.
The question now is, can Bill Adam reel in Richard Spinard? He still has to contend with Rick By, who stays right with him going through Namaro.
Bill Adam riding on those brand new tires, stretching out his second place lead just a little bit. His goal, of course, is to catch first place Richard Spinard. He ran second to him last week at Mossport, and he told us what he was thinking about coming into this race.
Two things, really. I'm a little bit embarrassed about the performance I put up in the first part of the season, and I can put it down to just simple rust on my part. If you don't play tennis a lot, you're not going to play a very good game, and unfortunately, I've been away from race cars for quite a few months, and it has shown up. So Mossport really is encouraging. It's starting to come back, and now I want to improve my finishing position by 1 and finish first.
The battle continues between the guest driver, Davy Jones, and Jacques Bienvenu. They're side by side off the end of the straightaway. Bienvenu will hold off Davy Jones going into the S's. But they have been going back and forth here for a few laps now. Your third place driver, Rick By in the Reebok Porsche, now comes under pressure from Richard Laporte. You're on board with the third place car of Rick By. There you can see ahead on the racetrack as Laporte goes through on the inside. Richard Laporte takes over the third place spot. Richard Spinard, who qualified his car on the pole position. He has led since the opening lap. The battle continues between Bienvenu and Davy Jones. Tennyson just behind that pair. Jacques Bienvenu now gets the car out of shape. Jacques fighting the steering wheel to keep it under control, but he's right off the racetrack onto the grass as he looped that car around a couple of times. The corner worker holding Jacques off the racetrack. Now he gives him the signal to come back on the circuit. As it is clear, Jacques will continue.
Jacques will continue, but he's lost 3 positions. Stay with us for the finish of race 5 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Championship Series from Mont-Tremblant in just a moment. Welcome back to Le Circuit, Mont-Tremblant, Quebec. The Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Championship Series. Race number 5 is winding down.
The leader, Richard Spinard, locking up the wheels going into Namaro as Spinard now feels the pressure of a hard-charging Bill Adam. Spinard had a commanding lead at one point, but Adam has reeled him in, and Spinard will get the 1 lap to go indication as he comes across the start-finish line and back into turn 1 now for the final time. The question is, can Bill Adam catch Richard Spinard? Laporte aboard the number 5 Porsche runs in third. The 4th place driver at the moment is Davy Jones, and back in 5th is Rick By aboard the number 8 Reebok Porsche.
Rick By had run second, but his crew tells us that a slide off the track produced a serious vibration in the Reebok Porsche, and Rick is really just hanging on to keep his position.
You can see just how much he's fighting the steering wheel on that car as he loops it around right off the racetrack. Rick By muscling the car. He just couldn't quite hold it on the racetrack. He goes sliding off into the tire walls. The yellow caution flag is out.
You're looking inside, and Rick By is okay. He is getting out of the car now as he unhooked the belt. He is out. He is fine. The car is certainly damaged, and his day is finished.
Over the crest of the hill, Spinard, still your leader. Bill Adam now moves down to the inside. He goes side by side with Spinard into the S's, and Bill Adam has taken the lead away from Richard Spinard with less than a lap to go.
Finally, he was able to do what he wasn't able to do the last time. The Motormaster crew standing by. They know Adam has been faster these closing laps.
On the radio, they would have heard from Spinard that he's dropped into that second place position. Bill Adam, the leader, up in Enamoro. He lights up the tires, keeps the car on the racetrack. Just a couple of car lengths separating Bill Adam and Richard Spinard. 1 corner to go. The checkered flag is out at the start-finish line, and it'll be Bill Adam with the win. Richard Spinard will finish in second.
What a tremendous race for Bill Adam. He has accomplished what he couldn't do at most part, and that is catch Richard Spinard, beat him, and take the checkered flag.
The third place driver up in Enamoro, Richard Laporte. Right behind him in the Diet 7-Up guest car, Davy Jones has had a fine run here at Mont Tremblant. It'll be Laporte in third. Jones will take the checkered flag to finish in fourth.
The sad story in all of this has to be Rick Bye. Qualified on the front row, running fifth when his car spun out. You see him there surveying the damage to his Reebok Porsche. What a day. Here's your final standings. Bill Adam the winner, Richard Spinard second, and Richard Laporte third. The numbers 3, 4, and 5 cars. The 7-Up guest car driven by Davy Jones is fourth. David Tennyson comes in fifth. Rounding out the top 10, Jacques Leliev is in sixth place. Normand Boyer seventh. Uli Bieri followed by Jacques Bienvenu and Chris Gleason.
Brian, I think the victory by Bill Adam will be especially satisfying against his old nemesis Spinard, and the fact that he struggled earlier this year in the series.
What a tremendous victory for Bill Adams, but in spite of his second place finish here, Richard Spinard has actually increased his lead in the point standings. He now has a 20-point lead over Uli Bieri. And Jacques Leliev, on the strength of his sixth place finish here, has taken over third place. Be sure and join us next time for round 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series from Mosport Park. For Pat Gonzalez, this is Brian McGorman saying so long from Mont Tremblant, Quebec.
Welcome to Mosport Park for race number 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Hello everybody, I'm Joe Tilley, and we're here for another action-packed day of racing involving these beautiful Porsche 944 Turbos. These cars are all equally equipped versions of the 944 Turbo that were built at the Porsche Racing and Development Center at Weissach, Germany. Series like this one in Canada run in France, Germany, and South Africa. With everyone running the same equipment, it's made for some close racing. Pat Gonzalez was in the paddock earlier with what's been the hottest of our Turbo Cup Series cars.
This is the Motormaster Downtown Fine Cars Porsche of Richard Spinard. Richard is the current points leader in our series, having won 3 of the first 5 races. He was second in our last event at Mont Tremblant and finished 5th in race number 3. But the point system only counts the best 7 races. Richard has the potential to run away with the championship if he can keep his form as we approach our final 3 events. Being a race driver is a business for Richard. He's racing in 2 events this weekend. With the help of a helicopter, he'll try and make both races here at Mosport and at Mont Tremblant. His first race, however, will be to get back here to Mosport in time for the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup race after his qualifying session in Quebec.
Spinard's lead is 18 points over Uli Bieri. Richard Laporte has 90 points, and Porsche dealer Ludwig Heimrath is having a great season. He's 4th, but Chris Gleason is only 1 point back with 84. Only 10 points separate the next 5, topped by Rick Bye. Bill Adam won the last race and seems to be getting back to his top form. Jacques Leliev has been pushed to 10th. Just after the very rainy practice, Pat found out why.
Jacques was disqualified after a strong finish in race number 5. The rear sway bar on the number 16 Porsche had been disconnected when the team thought it would be a rain tire race. As you'll remember, the weather did threaten, but it eventually cleared and the race was run on a dry racetrack with the slick tires. In wet conditions, some of the teams will disconnect the rear sway bar to soften the suspension and allow the Pirelli P0 rain tires to conform to the racetrack. That'll usually mean a less likelihood of a spin. Series sponsor Shell has also developed some slippery products that actually help the racing. At each Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup event, Shell researchers sample and test the TLO motor oil that's being provided for each Turbo Cup 944. There are two reasons for it. It gives information to the teams about where inside the sealed engines, and it's part of an ongoing program that uses the series as a proving ground for high-performance lubricants. Georgina Winterburn, a technical associate from Shell Canada Research, told us what's special about the new grease that's being developed for Porsche wheel bearings.
The grease is a mixture of two thickeners commonly used in the industry. One is a lithium soap-based additive that has very low lubricity. The other one is a non-melt clay-based thickener. By combining the two of them, you get a lubricant, a grease, that gives you the best of both. Very good lubricity, that means low friction, plus a non-melt grease which will be able to withstand high temperatures.
And the action will be heating up in just a moment. Stay with us for race number 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series from Mosport Park. We're back with the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez. As you can see, the drivers are getting strapped into their cars. We're just about all set to go with race number 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Here's Pat with a look at the grid.
On row number 1 are the two proven rainmasters. In treacherous rain on Friday, Rick By and Richard Spinard were almost 3 seconds faster than the rest of the field. Looking to make good in today's sunny and dry conditions are Bill Adam and Richard Laporte, who make up row number 2. Row 3 shows a tremendous qualifying effort by series rookie Mike Williamson. He will be beside David Tennyson, last year's Rookie of the Year.
And rounding out the rest of the field, row 4, Uli Bieri and Jacques Bienvenu, Larry Caruso and Norman Boyer in row 5. In row 6, it's Ludwig Heimrath and David Seabrook. In row 7, Chris Gleason and Len Campbell. In row number 8, it'll be Ted Powell and Reinhold Schill. And in the last row, Jim Kinsey in the Diet 7-Up guest car and Pat Kubelis.
The cars roll through the S's as they come out of turn number 10. It is number 8, Rick By, Richard Spinard, alongside as the cars come on the pit straightaway. We've got a green flag, and we're racing here at Mosport in round number 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup. It is Rick By, the leader, down to the inside. Richard Laporte from the second row moves around Spinard into the second place position. And now you're on board with Richard Spinard as he chases down Laporte. Spinard got to the outside going to turn 1, left the opening, and Laporte was right there to squeeze through into that second place position. The front running 5 cars have opened up just a little bit of a gap on this 6th place car. That is Jacques Bienvenu. There you can see Rick By in the yellow Reebok Porsche leading. Then is Laporte in second, and now you're back a little further with the 6th place car of Jacques Bienvenu. The Dicom Express Porsches, they go down the chute here at Mosport on the opening lap. Rick By just a car length over Richard Laporte, who closes as they go through Moss Corner. Spinard there in 3rd, and then it is David Tennyson in the blue Porsche running 4th. Bill Adam is back in 5th.
Pat, David Tennyson got a great start moving up into 4th. Mike Williamson, the rookie who started 5th on the grid, has already dropped way back into 8th.
On the back straightaway, Rick By still your leader. Laporte right there as he drafts off the Reebok Porsche up the back straightaway over the crest of the hill as they come into the S's. Spinard looks to the inside of Laporte. The opening is not there. He will tuck in and run back into 3rd place position. Rick By your leader. Laporte, Spinard, Tennyson, and then Bill Adams still holding out on the 5th place position. And now Jacques Bienvenu has moved up to join the front running 5. You're looking backwards from the leader's car as you see the 2nd place car of Richard Laporte. Just a few car lengths back of Rick By as they go down into the bottom of turn 1. Rick By, who had a great qualifying effort here in the wet, as well as Richard Spinard. And now you're on board Spinard as he moves down to the inside of Laporte. Spinard has come through into the 2nd place position. And from the onboard camera in Rick By's car, you see the interval back to Spinard as the leader, Rick By, throws that Reebok Porsche into turn number 3.
On board with Jacques Bienvenu now. Bienvenu qualified 8th. He usually qualifies much higher than that. I asked him if the rain had anything to do with his qualifying in the 4th row here today.
To me, that changed nothing. You know, the guy who qualified 1st and 2nd here, they know the track very well, and they know they have to change their line. And I tried to do the same, but we found this morning the suspension was not adjusted properly, and it's one of the reasons for why we qualify 8th overall. But to me, we did some adjustment, and we will be there for the race.
From the rear-mounted Sony Handycam and Rick Bye's car, you get the shot of the second-place car of Richard Spinard. And Spinard has really closed the gap here on Rick Bye as they go through Moss Corner and head up the back straightaway. Laporte still runs in the third-place spot. And again, these spectacular shots of Richard Spinard, who is trying to reel in Rick Bye as they head up the back straightaway.
Pat, these really are terrific onboard camera shots. Now here comes Richard Spinard trying to draft around Rick Bye. They're side by side heading down the back straight.
Spinard inches ahead of Rick Bye. He will now pull right in front of the Reebok Porsche as they hit the crest of the hill. So Richard Spinard has taken over the lead. Rick Bye runs in the second-place position. Richard Laporte is third. David Tennyson runs fourth. And it is still Bill Adam back in the fifth-place position. Through the S's here at Mosport. Spinard by just a car length as they come on the pit straightaway. Spinard, your leader, and now the drivers using every bit of the racetrack and then some as they got up onto the speed curving.
You know, when we talked to Rick Bye earlier, he predicted that this race wasn't going to be any easier, even though he was starting from the pole position.
Well, these guys are, the fast guys are at the front, and these guys are going to, even if it was raining, they'll extend themselves and they'll watch, and it'll take them all of about 20 seconds to learn what we were doing, and we're not going to run away. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very busy.
Richard Spinard, the leader, right behind, a battle for second. Laporte up to the outside of Rick Bye, and he will take over the second-place position with a brilliant pass going into the S's. So it is Spinard, your leader, Laporte in second. Rick Bye now pushed back to third after leading early and qualifying on the pole. Bill Adam and David Tennyson continue their battle for fourth and fifth. Tennyson holds fourth, but Adam is right there in the fifth-place position. The front-running 5 drivers still pretty tightly bunched as they go through the bottom of turn 1. They have run away now from the rest of the field. Spinard down to the bottom of turn number 2, starting to stretch that lead out just a little bit. Now on Laporte, followed by Rick Bye.
So here is a look at the leaderboard. Spinard followed by Laporte, then Rick Bye, David Tennyson in fourth, and Bill Adam is currently holding down fifth spot. In sixth, it's Uli Bieri, then Larry Caruso, Jacques Bienvenu, Ludwig Heimrath in ninth, and Norman Boyer is in 10th spot. There's a red Porsche of Boyer. And now well back in the pack, it's Jim Kenzie in the Diet 7-Up guest car. Kenzie is an automotive columnist with the Toronto Star, and yes, folks, he does have his professional racing license. Earlier, I asked him what it was like to step into one of these gleaming Porsche 944 Turbos.
Well, I've only driven the car for a few minutes in the pouring rain on Friday, and it's an awesomely fast car. It's the fastest thing I've ever driven, and I'm still trying to figure how I managed to out-qualify somebody. I'm second last on the grid, and my qualifying time was about 4 seconds slower than the next slowest guy, so I wasn't a complete waste of time, but it was pretty scary in some of those corners.
The lead pack of Porsches work the back straightaway here at Mosport. Spinard leading in the red and white Motormaster Porsche. Right behind is Richard Laporte. A bit of a gap, but here's Bill Adam. He will challenge for third, and he'll take over that third-place position on the back straightaway. Rick Bye being pushed back to fourth. David Tennyson runs fifth, and it's Uli Bieri, followed by Larry Caruso, and then Jacques Bienvenu in eighth. Spinard, your leader, through turn 9 of the S's here at Mosport. Laporte is right there, and now Bill Adams starts to close on the first and second place cars, and Rick Bye pushing that car beyond the limit as he got right up there on the speed curving. A little further back, good battle here between 27. That is Mike Williamson, one of the series rookies, and 75, Chris Gleason in the yellow car.
Pat, Rick Bye has dropped from first to fourth, and now look at this is David Tennyson now moving around Rick Bye, and he is going to get past. Rick Bye definitely doesn't seem to have the horses here today at Mosport.
While he's been passed several times on the back straightaway, and on that short straightaway, Tennyson was able to get around, so Rick Bye definitely, here you can see from the onboard camera, Tennyson just pulling away as they go up through the gearbox on the back straightaway. Spinard by just a car length over Laporte. Bill Adam in third now. Tennyson runs fourth, and there is Rick Bye slowing on the back straightaway. Bieri has moved up into fifth. Caruso in the white number 71 car takes over sixth. Laporte down to the inside into the S's, but Spinard manages to hold him off. Richard Laporte all over Richard Spinard, and Bill Adam has also moved up to give us a great three-way battle for the lead. Tennyson trying to close up as well. Here is Bieri and Caruso. Beautiful pass up to the outside by Larry Caruso, having a great great run here at Mosport. Caruso is up in a 5th. Bieri in the red number 40 car runs in the 6th place spot. Williamson 27 and the 75 car of Chris Gleason. They continue the battle. And Williamson smacks the guardrail coming on the front straightaway. He has demolished the left side of the car. Williamson is moving around. He appears to be okay, but a nasty crash by Mike Williamson. He has unbuckled the safety harness. He'll try to get out of the Porsche.
And that is a dangerous spot. Just coming out of corner 10, there'll be a full course yellow. The pace car is coming out, and we'll be back with race number 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Welcome back to Mosport Park. We're midway through round 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez, and right now things are a little slow around here because Mike Williamson has crashed his Miller High Life Porsche right on pit straight. He's now a spectator while the rest of the field follows the pace car around the circuit under this full course yellow caution. Right now they are trying to clear the debris left by the Williamson crash.
As we saw, Williamson is okay, but as the slowdown continues, the leader Richard Spinard surely must be concerned about the other race he's going to fly to at Mont-Tremblant when he's finished here at Mosport. I asked him earlier if these pressures are a concern while he's on the racetrack.
Well, definitely. You know, racing demands a lot of concentration, and if your mind is working on something else, if you worry about something else, definitely it's a problem. But I don't expect it. I don't expect any problem.
Well, that problem Richard didn't expect is on the back of that tow truck right now and about to be taken away. We should get a restart on the next lap around.
Just before the Mike Williamson crash, Rick Bye came into the pits. He's now going to rejoin the race a few laps down, but not before he gets a warning about what all of the other drivers have already seen.
The exit of 10, right at the exit points. Antifreeze, the cement on the top.
All right. And as Rick Bye heads out on the racetrack, we're going to take a look at the leaderboard. Richard Spinard, Bill Adam now in 2nd, Richard Laporte, David Tennyson, Uli Bieri in 5th spot. In 6th, Ludwig Heimrath has moved up. Jacques Bienvenu in 7th, Norman Boyer in 8th, Reinhold Schill, and Chris Gleason rounds out the top 10.
The pace car headed for pit road as the field comes single file through turn number 9 of the S's. And Spinard and the rest of the field will be looking for a green flag to go back to racing on the pit straightaway. We've got a green flag. Spinard, Bill Adam, Laporte, Tennyson in that order as they head down into the bottom of turn number 1. Spinard getting away here quickly. Bill Adam up into that 2nd place position. Laporte, and then a bit of a gap back to David Tennyson. The leader, Spinard, crests the hill at turn number 2. Bill Adam in 2nd, and now you're on board with Jacques Bienvenu running back in the 7th place position as Jacques now gets it sideways, keeps it off that inside concrete retaining wall. There's Norman Boyer. The two cars almost hit as Jacques slides off onto the grass. There is 29, Reinhold Schill, who's also off the track into the outfield at turn number 2. Bienvenu managed to keep it off the wall. He will continue, as will Norman Boyer, but they were running in 7th and 8th. Schill was 9th. All 3 of those drivers will lose positions. There you can see just behind was Rick Bye. There is Norman Boyer and Jacques Bienvenu, 2 of the 3 drivers involved in that incident in turn number 2.
And there is Rick Bye, Pat. Right now it looks like he's just trying to circle the track he wants to finish and pick up his championship points.
The leader, Richard Spinard, on the back straightaway. Bill Adam in 2nd, Richard Laporte 3rd, David Tennyson 4th, and then Uli Bieri back in 5th. The leader, Spinard, into the S's. Bill Adam appears to be closing on Spinard. And there is the 5th place driver at the moment in the red number 40 car, Uli Bieri.
Pat Bieri and Larry Caruso had a little bit of a tangle in turn 5. Larry has had to pull off the track just out of sight behind where Rick Bye is right now, and he'll be out of the race for the day.
Rick Bye moving very slowly along that back straightaway. Here's your leaders, Spinard, Bill Adam, and Laporte. I tell you, Spinard has not been able to shake Bill Adam or Richard Laporte. They're both right there and within striking distance of the leader. Tennyson not all that far back either.
Richard Laporte is really putting some heat on Bill Adam. He might have a little extra grip in those Pirelli slicks. Before the race, he told us about his tire strategy.
It's a long race for Mosport. We put some new tires on the left side of the car, so we should have good traction the whole race, but the first 15 laps will have to be 95 or 98%, not 100%. We could only go flat out for the last 5 laps. That's our strategy for this weekend.
Well, Laporte appears to be going flat out at the moment. He is right there with Bill Adam as they crest the hill. Both of those drivers try to chase down Richard Spinard in the Motormaster Porsche as the drivers push those 944 turbos at the limit going through the S's. Spinard coming back on the pit straight, just a few car lengths separating the leader Richard Spinard and Bill Adam, both drivers using every inch of racetrack as they got onto that pit straight.
And a little further back, we see Reinhold Schill, Pat Kubelis, and there is David Seabrook.
The leader is past number 8, Rick By. Rick is going to let everyone go through. Stay with us for the final laps of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup race number 6 from Mosport right after this.
Welcome back for the finish of race number 6 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez. Richard Spinard leads this race, and the top 3 has stretched it right out over the rest of the field.
David Tennyson was up in that lead pack, but he's dropped back off the pace, so right now it is strictly a 3-driver race up front. Spinard, Adam, and Laporte coming on the pit straight as they're about to get the last lap indication. Heading down into the bottom of turn 1, Bill Adam closes now to within just about 3 or 4 car lengths of Spinard, and Laporte now is the driver who starts to drop back just a little bit. You're on board with the leader, Richard Spinard, checking his rear view mirror from time to time, watching the second place car of Bill Adam. Of course, one slight miscue by Spinard, and Adam will be right there as he'll now close going up into turn number 3. Laporte again has lost some ground here in the last few corners, and for the moment it looks like it is only Bill Adam who has a chance of catching Spinard as they go through Moss Corner now for the final time and make the last run up the Andretti back straightaway here at Mosport.
Richard Spinard looks to have it wrapped up, but he might have some trouble trying to get past Rick By.
On that back straightaway, Bill Adams' only hope is to try to pick up the draft of Spinard's car. Laporte several car lengths back in third as Adam now closes over the crest of the hill going into the S's. Bill Adam is close to within just 1 car length of Richard Spinard. Just corners 9 and 10 to go. Adam right on the rear bumper of Spinard as they come through turn number 9. Into the final corner, Adam closing right there, but the checkered flag is out, and Spinard will hold off Bill Adam as the checkered flag flies. Spinard is your winner. Bill Adam will finish in second, and Richard Laporte will take third spot.
And what a finish. In our last race at Mont-Tremblant, Bill Adam was able to overtake Richard Spinard on the final lap. This time, however, Spinard held him off. Bill Adam second, Richard Laporte in third, David Tennyson finishes fourth, Uli Bieri takes fifth spot. Rounding out the top 10 in sixth, it's Ludwig Heimrath, Chris Gleason, Ted Powell in eighth, Len Campbell in ninth, and Reinhold Schill finishes 10th.
A crowd has gathered around the victory podium at Mosport for the presentations. There is Bill Adam, the second place driver, receiving his bronze trophy from Joe Pace of Rothmans, and congratulations from Fred Doobie of Porsche. But here is the winner, Richard Spinard, as he will climb to the top of the podium. Congratulations from Richard Laporte and Bill Adam. And now Richard receiving his first place bronze trophy.
So Richard Spinard wins his fourth race to strengthen his overall series lead. Uli Bieri is still in second, but Richard Laporte is closing the gap with a third place finish here today. Join us next time when we return to Mosport for race number 7. For Pat Gonzalez, I'm Joe Tilley. Good afternoon. Welcome to Mosport Park. This is round 7 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Hello everybody, I'm Joe Tilley. Around the paddock area here at Mosport, the activity has a curious feel about it. Around some of the trailers, the atmosphere is relaxed, a summer-long series is winding down, but in other camps there seems to be a bit of agitation. 6 of our top 10 drivers are within just a dozen points of a top 3 finish, and deals for next year are already being negotiated. Any driver with aspirations to finalize a well-financed racing program for next season has to do well here today and at the final at Mont-Tremblant. David Tennyson is one of those drivers trying to secure a deal for next year.
the better you finish up in the top of the top ranks, you get more press, more television coverage, and it's a lot more valuable to the sponsor. So what I like to try to do when I'm making a sponsorship proposal is to try to put a value on how much coverage that I've actually obtained in the past, or how much I feel that I can obtain in the future.
Today's race will be 20 laps of the Mosport circuit. Pat Gonzalez is standing by with a look at how the standard equipment of these Porsche Turbos will play a role.
We've talked about the Pirelli tires that are used on all the cars in the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Let's take a moment and learn a little bit more. All of the drivers have two choices of tires: the Pirelli P0 Slick and the Pirelli P0 Treaded Rain tire. This is a street radial developed from years of street and racing experience. The deep grooves in the tire allow the water in, and the design of those grooves in the tire sheds the water away from the part of the tire that actually touches the racetrack. That's called a contact patch and helps prevent hydroplaning. The Pirelli P0 Slick is a true race tire, developed for and available only to the drivers in the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup. The smooth tire has a much larger contact patch than the Pirelli P0 Rain. That provides for greater friction and better road handling capabilities as the Porsche 944 turbos fly through the turns here at Mosport and at Mont-Tremblant. The secret to this tire is the compound. It is very soft, and when heated, gives a very, very sticky surface to the racetrack. You can see that part of the bits of grit and stones have actually stuck to this tire. All of the drivers in the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup tell us that the tire performs best in the early stages of a race. So one of the other challenges for the drivers is to manage his driving in the early laps so that he has lots of soft rubber left on that tire for when it really matters. That's the final run to the checkered flag.
Thanks, Pat. Now let's take a look at our championship standings after the first 6 races. Richard Spinard leads the championship point standings with 143, a champion in 1987 before the move was made to the turbocharged cars. Richard has won 4 of the 6 races. Second is Uli Bieri, another veteran of the series. Uli has yet to win this season, but consistent top finishes have kept him near the top of the points with 120. And third is Richard Laporte from Montreal, Quebec with 112. His 944 Turbo was completely rebuilt after this rollover in race 2, and he's been charging in the front ever since. The remaining drivers in the top 10 are tightly grouped. Ludwig Heimrath is 4th, Chris Gleason is 5th, just 2 points back is David Tennyson, Bill Adam is 7th with 97, Norman Boyer, Rick Bai, and Ted Powell round out the top 10. Only the top 7 finishes count in the final tally, so Richard Spinard has a chance to all but lock it up here today. Stay with us. We'll be back with race number 7 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series right after this. Welcome back to round 7 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez. The cars have just begun their pace lap for the race. Here's Pat with the grid.
Row 1 is Richard Spinard and Bill Adams. Spinard's the driver who leads the points with 4 wins. Adam has 1 victory and has been the only driver to really challenge Spinard. In the second row, it's Uli Bieri and Richard Laporte. Once again, these two are 2nd and 3rd in the points race, but Spinard will have to falter here for any of those riders to have a chance at the championship. The 3rd row has David Tennyson and Larry Caruso, a bit of a surprise. Caruso's best qualifying effort so far this year. In the 4th row, it's Jacques Bienvenu and Rick Bai in the Reebok Porsche. The 5th row has Reinhold Schill and Norman Boyer. In row number 6, it'll be Chris Gleason and Ludwig Heimrath. In row number 7, series rookie Mike Williamson and David Seabrook. Row number 8, in the Diet 7-Up guest car is Mercedes Sturmitz, and alongside will be the 50 car of David King. Row number 9 has Len Campbell and Terry Martell, and the lone driver in row 10 will be Ted Powell in the Fujifilm Porsche. The cars roll through turn 10 here at Mosport and onto the pit straightaway, looking for the green flag to get our 7th round of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series underway. There's the green. We're racing at Mosport. Bill Adam up to the outside. Spinard will go through and take the lead through turn 1. A little bit further back, Rick Bai in the Reebok Porsche runs just behind one of the surprises of qualifying, Larry Caruso, in the number 71 car, and Caruso smokes the tires as he got on the brakes going into turn 2. Spinard there, your leader in the red and white Motormaster Porsche. Just behind is Bill Adam, getting a little bit sideways at the bottom of turn 2. And here comes Uli Bieri up to the outside. He's off the track. Caruso spins behind and Bieri rolls the car right over. A nasty crash here.
And Pat, Larry Caruso and Rick By got messed up from that. They're into the wall just behind Bieri's car.
Larry Caruso and Rick By's car are both severely damaged. Here from the onboard camera, you can see the safety crew and marshals attending to the situation. And now from the Sony Handycam inside Uli Bieri's car, he has unstrapped himself. Bieri is going to try to get out of his number 40 Porsche. He seems to be a little bit disoriented, but the corner marshals are doing the job. And now Bieri climbs out of that car. Here is the work continuing on the Larry Caruso car. They're having to pry the left-hand door off the car to get Caruso out. He appears to be slightly shaken up, but it looks like he will be okay. Rick By's car also severely damaged in the crash, and you can see there that Larry Caruso is visibly upset. The cars, meanwhile, have slowed on the back straightaway as the officials have stopped the race. There is Spinard, who was the leader. Black flags around the track, a red flag at the start-finish line, indicating to the drivers that the race would be stopped.
Here's a look at the replay now. They're really cooking heading into turn 3. That's Uli Bieri, the 4th car back. He starts to lose it. He tries to keep control, but once that car gets on the grass, it's gone. He's going to hit the tire wall. He flips the car. It's a good thing he's got that safety harness on there. The roll bar, of course, protects him as well. The tire wall, Uli's fine, but as you can see, the car is out of the race.
The camera inside Uli Bieri's car was running throughout that incident. And as you said, Joe, Bieri seems to have just lost control of the car. He gets it into the marbles, off the edge of the racetrack, rolls it over, and it slowly rocks back and comes to rest on its roof. Bieri struggling to get out of the car. Here from Rick By's car, we see the incident involving Rick By and Larry Caruso. By tries to make the move down to the inside. Caruso hits the brakes as he sees the Uli Bieri car, and then the two drivers collect each other and again are parked up against the tire walls. So 3 of our top drivers out here in turn number 3. Here is the cleanup work continuing as the Uli Bieri car there rolled over on its roof. Caruso right up over those tire walls, and severe damage to Rick By's Reebok Porsche. And here are a group of marshals showing their strength as they will physically turn the number 40 Porsche of Uli Bieri back over.
It's going to be a few minutes more before the officials sort this out completely, but look what's happened. Bieri's crew has brought his spare Turbo 944 to the grid. They're going to have it checked by the officials for eligibility.
And that's being argued right now by Ludwig Heimrath and series steward Bob Armstrong. Heimrath doesn't think that Bieri should be allowed to restart in a different car. However, the assistant scrutineers are going ahead anyways, and it seems that, in fact, now, yes, the decision has been made. Bieri will be able to start again from the back of the grid.
And look at this, calm, cool, and collected. Uli Bieri has gotten a ride back to the start line, and as the final touches are put on the new number 40 car, everyone's getting back in their Porsches, and we're going to have a restart. Stay with us for what will be version 2 of this 7th race of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series from Mosport Park in just a moment. Welcome back to Mosport for round 7 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez. As you can see, the cars are weaving back and forth on the back straight as we prepare for the restart of the 7th series race.
The effects of the earlier crash can be seen in the new grid. Rows 2, 3, and 4 have only 1 car each for this restart after Uli Bieri, Larry Caruso, and Rick By destroyed their cars in our first attempt to get this race underway.
Uli Bieri will modify the grid twice, so as you see in row 10, he'll start from the back of the pack in his hastily entered spare car.
Those drivers in rows 2, 3, and 4 will have to avoid crowding on the restart. Each driver is obliged to leave room on this pace lap and start in the assigned row position. And now you can see Tennyson, in fact, has moved up alongside of Laporte. He should, in fact, be starting back in the 3rd row, but Tennyson has moved his blue Porsche into row number 2 as the drivers get the green flag. We're back to racing at Mosport. Into turn 1, this time Bill Adam up to the outside will take the lead, and you're on board with Richard Spinard, as Spinard was the leader when the race was stopped, but now he is the driver chasing the new leader here, Bill Adam. At the bottom of turn number 2, Bill Adam by just a few car lengths. Tennyson up into 3rd, but I think he could be penalized later on for that move. And oh, Spinard smokes the tires. Almost a replay of what happened to Bieri on the original start. A little bit further back, there is Bieri in that black number 40 backup car, as he's already picked off about 3 positions. In a Moss corner, Adam, number 3, your leader, aboard the black and white Toshiba Porsche. Then it's Spinard in the red and white car, followed in third by David Tennyson as they head up the back straightaway here at Mosport. Laporte, number 5, runs back in the 4th place position, and then it is Jacques Bienvenu in 5th. Jacques, who started back in row number 4, has worked his way up into the 5th place position. It's a 5-car train as they head up the back straightaway. Good battle there going on for the 6th place position as well, involving Norman Boyer. Into the S's. Spinard right there with Bill Adam as he is closed up as they head into turn number 9. Just a car length separating those 2 drivers. Tennyson as well is right there with Adam and Spinard as Laporte and Bienvenu have also closed it up.
Bill Adam in the lead. He had a tough first half of the series, but he has been charging hard. He won race number 5 at Mont Tremblant, and he told us earlier he wants to win here at Mosport.
Realistically, to win the championship, Richard has to have serious problems in both remaining races, and I would have to win them. And it's unlikely. Mathematically, still a possibility. And so, because of that, I'm going to charge as hard as I can. I want to win them both.
Right now, Bill Adam in the lead. Spinard challenging down to the inside as they come into the S's. Laporte and Bienvenu side by side for that 4th place position. They still run wheel to wheel as they come into turn number 9. But Laporte has the better line, and he'll hold on to the 4th place spot.
Bill Adams still leading, and on the back straight now with the Mercedes Sturmitz. She's a Diet 7-Up guest driver in today's race, a former Miss Austria, a race driver in Europe, and as you just saw, she put a neat move on David Seabrook in turn 8. Her moves through that very tricky section of the track weren't as clean in qualifying in the rain on Friday, and before the race, she told us what happened.
I didn't think that it was that slippery, because all the other corners were not as bad as I thought. And coming out of corner 9, which was very, very good for, I had a good grip there. I was really surprised of corner 10. It was the most, the most slippery corner I ever drove. So it was my mistake. It was stupid, and I have to thank my crew because they worked all the night, and I think it was wonderful what they did.
And Terry Cleland and his crew got that Diet 7-Up Porsche nicely back into shape after Mercedes had that turn 10 crash, and she's holding her own out there right now.
Watching Ted Powell now through turn 3, and now going into 4 down the chute. Ted's well back in the pack, but he's been a finisher in every single event so far and has been able to take home points.
Here's Uli Bieri now in the black car, retaped to show number 40 after crashing his red car earlier and restarting at the back. Uli has already charged ahead 5 positions. So here are the leaders. Bill Adam, followed by Spinard, Tennyson, Laporte, and Bienvenu. In 6th spot, it's Heimrath, Boyer, Schill, Gleason, and Mercedes Sturmitz has moved into 10th.
Up the end of the back straightaway, Bill Adam, Richard Spinard still going at it. Tennyson in the blue car there, right in the thick of it, and you're on board with Richard Spinard as they work it through turn number 9 of the S's here at Mosport. Spinard right there with Bill Adam. He's closed it up.
In the backfield, Uli Bieri has just made a move on David Seabrook. He's gunning for a top 10 finish in this one. But this is a tremendous effort after that crash and rollover just minutes ago. And actually, when we spoke to him, he was pretty philosophical about his chances this weekend.
I'm going to see what happens on the start. I tried to be aggressive right from the start down, but we'll see what happens.
Uli Bieri running in a pack there with several other drivers up front. We continue to have a hotly contested race for the lead. Spinard on the inside of Adam into turn 3. Spinard takes the lead. Bill Adam battling right back, but Spinard will move out in front. The story of the second half of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup has been pretty much a 2-driver story between Spinard and Bill Adam, and they continue to go at it out of Moss Corner as they head up the back straightaway.
Pat, that's a meatball flag for David Tennyson. As we speculated, the officials are going to force a 19 car into the pits for a penalty for not leaving a row open at the start. He really was right up beside Richard Laporte in the spot that should have been taken by Vieri's car.
Spinard still leads Bill Adam as they run it through the S's here at Mosport. David Tennyson is right there. Bienvenu now has taken over that fourth place position as he has moved around Richard Laporte. And here is Tennyson. He's on pit road as he heads in for what will be a stop-and-go penalty.
That's tough luck for David. He was having a great race here today, and this pit stop is going to cost him any chance of winning the race.
Tennyson is away. This will drop him back, I believe, a couple of positions. Yes, there is Tennyson. He now runs fifth, just ahead of the sixth place driver, Norman Boyer. At the end of the straightaway, Mercedes Sturmitz in the Diet 7-Up guest car, battling side by side with Uli Bieri in the black car, and they're just behind the 7 car of Ludwig Heimrath. Some incredibly close racing a little bit further back. Up front, the story remains Richard Spinard and Bill Adam. This is reminiscent of the classic battle they had at Mont Tremblant during round number 5 when it was Bill Adam who came out on top. Adam has led here, but Spinard was able to get around, and again, there's just a car length separating the two drivers as they go through corner 5B and head up the back straightaway. Here is Tennyson all by himself in 5th, then the 86 car of Norman Boyer back in 6th. Here are the front-running two drivers, Spinard and Adam, and then further back is the battle between Laporte and Bienvenu.
Bill Adam right on Richard Spinard's tail, and now he tries to take him on the outside. This is the fastest part of the track. They're going about 240 kilometers an hour at this portion of the track. Bill Adam looking on the outside, but Spinard shuts the door.
Spinard with a faster line at the end of that straightaway manages to hold off Bill Adam, but Spinard knows he is there and must be feeling the pressure.
A great battle between the veterans, Bill Adam and Richard Spinard. There's Bienvenu trying to hold off Richard Laporte. Laporte had some interesting comments about Richard Spinard when we spoke to him earlier.
I guess if he wins this race, the championship is pretty much wrapped up. So I just hope, in a way, that his luck is not as good this weekend and mine is better.
At the moment, Richard Spinard in fine form. In fact, he has stretched his lead out just a little bit over Bill Adam as they go through Moss Corner and head up the Mario Andretti back straightaway here at Mosport. There's 89, Bienvenu, and number 5, Laporte, as they continue to battle for third.
And the top 4 have really stretched it out of the rest of the pack. Here are the standings: Spinard, Adam, Bienvenu, Laporte, David Tennyson a ways back. Then it's Boyer, Schill, Gleason, Vieri, and Mercedes Sturmitz in the Diet 7-Up guest car.
That superb battle for the third place position still involving Jacques Bienvenu and Richard Laporte. They're just a few car lengths apart. Just starting out now on the back straightaway with Ted Powell as he comes up on the number 27 car of Mike Williamson. You can see that with the failing light here at Mosport, the view from inside these Porsches is not as good. At the end of the straightaway, Bieri 40 moves around Gleason in that yellow number 75 car, so Uli continues his climb up through the field.
A tremendous race for Vieri through the pack, but the class of this field is Richard Spinard as he lifts a wheel through turn 2, charging for the championship. Stay with us for the finish as Bill Adam continues to challenge. We'll be back from Mosport in a moment. Welcome back. I'm Joe Tilley with Pat Gonzalez, and we're in the closing laps of race number 7 of the 1989 Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. You're watching what has been a bumper-to-bumper chase through this entire event. First, Richard Spinard chasing Bill Adam. Now Adam chasing Spinard for the lead. The critical element here is that if Spinard wins this race, it will be mathematically impossible for anyone else to take the season championship.
Spinard has had a brilliant run here at Mosport. We look a little bit further back to the 86 car of Norman Boyer. This is one of Boyer's best performances so far this year. And Spinard now coming under pressure from Adam. He almost tapped Spinard at the end of the back straightaway as Bill Adam did a superb job of late braking going into the S's. Spinard, your leader, as they come on the front straightaway, and they will get the last lap indication now from the starter stand. We've got less than a lap to go. Spinard the leader, and it is Adam right there to within just a couple of car lengths. Bill Adam trying to pull off the same move he did at Mont Tremblant when he won his very first event this year. Bienvenu still holds the third place spot. Laporte right there in the number 5 car. It looks like he's going to make a bid here with less than a lap to go for that third place position. But Spinard knows that if he can hang on here, he will win the championship. And he has driven a very calculated race down the chute now for the final time. And you're on board with Richard Spinard. But again, Bill Adam will reel him in as they break in a Moss Corner for the final time.
If Adam hopes to make a move, he'll have to do it on the back straight, so he's going to have to stay on Spenard's tail to get some drafting as they head into the back straightaway.
And that's precisely what Adam is doing. He works the draft beautifully off of Spenard's red and white car. Now Adam pulls up alongside. The two drivers going wheel to wheel up the back straightaway. Up at the top of the hill now. They're still side by side into the S's. Spenard down to the inside will hold off Bill Adam, who gets it a little bit out of shape. Spenard, your leader as they head through turn number 9. It is still Spenard followed by Adam, and it looks like Spenard will be able to hold them off as they come out of the pit straight. The checkered flag is out in the starter stand, and Richard Spenard has won his 5th Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup event of 1989. Adam will finish 2nd.
And here's some last lap action a little further back. They're really bunched up. Bieri goes through. Gleason and Mercedes Sturmitz holds off Ted Powell. She is going to keep 10th spot.
They go through turn number 9 for the final time. Bieri runs up in 8th. It is Gleason in 9th. There is Mercedes Sturmitz in 10th and Ted Powell back in 11th. They will take the checkered flag in that order.
So here are the final standings. Richard Spenard, Bill Adam, Jacques Bienvenu in 3rd. Richard Laporte, David Tennyson takes 5th spot. In 6th, it's Norman Boyer, Reinhold Schill, Uli Bieri, Chris Gleason, and Mercedes Sturmitz rounds out the top 10.
The crowd is gathered around the presentation stand as Mercedes Sturmitz and Bill Adam have a post-race chat about some of the action during the event. There is series director Jack Christie. And now the applause and the presentations to our top 3 drivers here at Mosport. Here is Richard Spenard, the happy winner, and the bronze trophy to the 2nd place driver, Bill Adam, who really turned in a superb drive. There is your winner, Richard Spenard. He has really had an incredible season so far. Congratulations from Michael Nye of Porsche to Richard Spenard, who has wrapped up the championship here at Mosport.
Jacques Bienvenu with one of his best efforts in that Dicom Porsche. That's it for Mosport. Join us next time for the final race in this year's series. I'm Joe Tilley for Pat Gonzalez. Good afternoon.
Welcome to Le Circuit, Mont Tremblant, Quebec, in round 8 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. Hello, everybody. I'm Brian McGorman, and this is the setting for the final episode of a season-long battle for the Canadian Turbo Cup Championship. With me is Pat Gonzalez, and Pat, we have seen 7 great races so far by these Porsche drivers. Today is our final event for 1989.
Well, Brian, we've seen some superb driving, no doubt about that one. But, you know, the one driver who has stood out, who has dominated the series so far, has to be Richard Spenard. In that Motomaster Porsche, he has won 5 races so far. He has finished 2nd in one of the other ones and was also 4th in one of those races. So he has been the driver that everybody's been chasing throughout the season. They'll try to chase him here again at Mont Tremblant today.
Richard's home track is Shannonville Motorsport Park near Belleville, Ontario. When we visited there, we saw some beautiful Porsches. The group that was gathered was the expert instructors of the Porsche Advanced Drivers School, and they presented a program from Porsche dealers across the country that teaches owners how to really appreciate their brand new Porsche cars. The sessions are one-on-one, and in a closed environment of the Shannonville facility, new Porsche owners learn the skills to match the world's finest automobile.
One of the permanent residents at Shannonville is Richard Spenard. He owns and manages the Spenard David Racing School. And when he's not running in his downtown fine cars Porsche in championship form, he's taking care of business at the racing school. The ongoing tasks of maintaining the business side of the school are a tremendous challenge and quite time-consuming. But that doesn't stop Richard from taking a personal interest in developing the talents of enthusiastic students, keen on seeing if they've got what it takes to race in a professional series. Courses start with classroom instruction, the theory of driving, and an on-paper discussion of the circuit.
Second or first, you could go all the way down to first gear. Don't go down in first gear.
Right after that, it's outside to learn about the Formula 2000 training car. Racers like Molly Elliott acquaint students with the starting of the cars, but Richard keeps a watchful eye every step of the way. After the final safety checks for helmets and harnesses, it's onto the racetrack for a regimen of braking, shifting, and cornering exercises that Richard has developed to ensure the success of Spenard David graduates. It's amazing, but it seems that the Spenard David program and the personal attention that Richard gives to developing racing talent only helps to enhance the action of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup and makes Richard Spenard sought after for advice by professional drivers too whenever the Motormaster team races.
As you say, Pat, it's been an exciting year for Richard Spenard and all the other Porsche drivers in this second of a 3-year, $1.5 million series for these specially built 944 turbo Porsches.
Well, Brian, today it's race number 8, the championship final, and Richard has qualified 3rd fastest. He'll start in the 2nd row. He's got to be a little bit disappointed in that qualifying effort, but the 2 drivers on the front row are quite a contrast. One of the youngest drivers, David Tennyson, winning his 2nd pole position of the year, going even faster than he did earlier this year during round number 2. The driver beside him, one of the real veterans, Jacques Bienvenu, he had a brilliant run in the 2nd qualifying session to put his Dicom Express Porsche on the front row. So those are the 2 drivers that Spenard will be chasing as he goes after his 6th win of the year.
So stay with us. We'll have the start of round 8 of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series from Mont Tremblant, Quebec in just a minute. Welcome back to Le Circuit, Mont Tremblant, Quebec, and the final race of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Brian McGorman. The drivers are in their final stages as they prepare for this 16-lap race. Here's Pat Gonsalves with the starting grid.
The top 2 qualifiers are in row 1, Jacques Bienvenu and David Tennyson. It is Jacques' first front row position of the series, and David's intensity should make turn 1 very exciting. Row number 2, it's Richard Spenard and Richard Laporte. Spenard has locked up the points championship. Laporte can finish 2nd with the top finish here today. In row number 3, it's Roland Ash and Uli Bieri. Ash is in the Diet 7-Up 944. Bieri seems in top form despite his cartwheel at Mosport.
Jacques Leliev and Normand Boyer make up row 4. Row 5 has Bill Adam and David Seabrook. Bill Adam could still finish 2nd overall with a good race today. Row 6, Rick By and Chris Gleason. Row 7 has Reinhold Schill and Ted Powell. Row 8, it is Raymond David and Mike Williamson. In row 9, it's Len Campbell and David King. And Kurt Kosman and Terry Martell round out the field.
The cars roll through Namaro Corner looking for the green flag to get round number 8, the final race in the 1989 Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Championship underway. There's the green flag. You were on board there with David Tennyson as they charge to turn 1. Tennyson down to the inside will grab the lead. Jacques Bienvenu runs up in 2nd. Spenard is 3rd, and the West German champion Roland Ash is back there in 4th. So Tennyson, who has had some brilliant qualifying runs here at Mont Tremblant, goes out in front early. Bienvenu, who was also as impressive in the qualifying sessions, runs in 2nd, and now you're on board with Roland Ash.
Ash is the German Turbo Cup champion and was the top qualifier of all the 1989 Diet 7-Up guest drivers.
Spenard closing here on Bienvenu, as Bienvenu losing a little bit of ground now to Tennyson, who pulls out about 5 or 6 car lengths. But the freight train of Porsche 944s continues around the racetrack. Tennyson still at the front, 89. Bienvenu in 2nd. Spenard is 3rd. Ash runs 4th. Laporte is in the 5th place. Spotted Uli Bieri there, number 40. Puts a couple of wheels off, but he will continue in line as they head up the back straightaway over the crest of the hill. It is Tennyson with the lead. Bienvenu closing under braking, as is Spenard, and then Roland Ash, followed back there by the number 5 car of Richard Laporte. There is Rick By, number 8, as we go on board now with the Reebok Porsche driver running a little bit further back. The car is still tightly bunched. Tennyson holding off Bienvenu, who comes under pressure now from Spenard, and now Laporte works up closer to the West German driver Roland Ash, who's hanging in there in the 4th place position. Up in a Namaro Corner, it is Tennyson who goes sideways, loops the car around. Spenard goes through into the lead. Tennyson right off the racetrack.
Fortunately for Tennyson, nobody hit him. He is back on the track. Let's look at it again, though, at the accident from inside Jacques Bienvenu's car. Jacques is coming up the hill under braking, and he tries to make a move inside David Tennyson. Maybe a mistake, just as Tennyson was turning into the apex. Confusion, both Spenard and Roland Ash are able to slide through.
That'll reshuffle the order. Here it is on the replay from onboard David Tennyson's car. He has the downshift, turns in, and then just spins the car right around off to the inside. There you can see Spenard, Ash, and Bienvenu going by, as well as several other drivers. You're back with the leader now, Spenard, as he leads over Roland Ash. Bienvenu in 3rd. Richard Laporte moving up to 4th. Good run here for Jacques Leliev.
Bill Adam, Uli Bieri, Rick By, David Seabrook, and now Normand Boyer rounding out the top 10.
It's single file up the back straightaway here at Mont-Tremblant. Richard Spenard continues to lead what has been a very exciting start to this final event of 1989.
On board now with David Tennyson, who is battling back. He's closing in on the 14th place now, held by number 27, Mike Williamson. Earlier, we talked about his goals for this season.
My goal this year is to finish in the top 5, and if everything goes right this weekend, we'll achieve that. And I also wanted to win a race this year, so we'll have to see after this one. You know, I'll do my best out there, and we'll see what happens after the race.
Here's our lead group now. Spenard, then a gap back to Roland Ash, Bienvenu, Laporte. Bill Adam is now 5th, Bieri, and 16 is Jacques Liliev.
Jacques Liliev having a pretty good run here. He's all over Bieri, and then behind him is Rick Bye. Now you're on board with Rick Bye, who did not qualify well, got off to a bit of a slow start as the leaders come up through Namero. On the inside, there is Bill Adam. He'll move inside of Laporte to pick up the position.
Adam is now 4th. He, Laporte, and Uli Bieri all fighting it out for 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship.
They come up across the line. Still Spenard leading. Ash in 2nd. Bienvenu, your new 4th place car there. The number 3 black and white Porsche of Bill Adam. And he is all over Bienvenu now as they come through. And Laporte also moving up and closing on Jacques Bienvenu. So as they go through here, Spenard has broken clear. But we have got a tremendous battle going on for the 3rd place position. There you can see the interval between Spenard and the 2nd place driver, Roland Ash. Then comes that great 3-way race for the 3rd place spot. Bienvenu, Adam, and Laporte. Bill Adam starting to make his move now. He closes on the 89 car there of Bienvenu. Roland Ash putting a couple of wheels off into the grass.
On board now with Jacques Bienvenu under braking, and there's Bill Adam sliding by into 3rd place.
Superb move by Bill Adam to take over that 3rd place spot, and now it is Jacques Bienvenu who comes under fire from Richard Laporte. Laporte is all over Bienvenu as they head up the back straightaway. He works the draft. He'll try to pull alongside now at the end of the back straightaway. Here is Laporte as he moves down to the inside, side by side with Bienvenu, and Richard Laporte will take over the 4th place spot. So Bienvenu gets shuffled back 2 positions as both Bill Adam and Richard Laporte move through. Spenard still your leader, Roland Ash in 2nd. And then it is Bill Adam 3rd, Richard Laporte in 4th, and Bienvenu runs back in the 5th place spot. Uli Bieri is 6th, and 7th is Jacques Liliev. Rick Bye runs 8th. Spenard up in a Namero, followed by Roland Ash and Bill Adam.
Pat, now here's Uli Bieri going by Jacques Bienvenu. Adam, Laporte, and now Bieri have all put Jacques behind them.
Side by side in a Namero, David Seabrook and Chris Gleason tangle. Both drivers manage to continue, but that will move now. David Tennyson a little bit closer to that pair.
Pat, let's look at that again from inside David Seabrook's car. Up in the Namero, you see Boyer just ahead. Here's the tap from Gleason, and it crosses up Seabrook just enough to let Gleason go through. And you know, David told us this might happen in this race, but I don't think he believed it would affect him.
I know it's going to be very aggressive because I'm up amongst a lot of the guys right now that are going to be fighting for position. And so my strategy is just to go out and to drive very hard at the beginning, but to try and stay out of trouble because I know they're going to be trying to bang on one another to get ahead. And hopefully attrition may take its course and I'll move up a little faster.
Attrition has taken its toll here. That's Kurt Kosman in the pits. Just being here is a triumph for Kurt. He's joined the Denon Layton Audio team for the weekend for his first race since losing his left leg to cancer over a year ago. And he's driving the number 21 car with a specially designed prosthesis to match the Turbo 944's clutch system. Stay with us. We'll be back with more from the final race of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series right after this. Welcome back to the final race of the season in the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Brian McGorman with Pat Gonzalez, and our current leader, Richard Spenard, has stretched it out from the rest of the field.
Diet 7-Up guest driver Roland Ash has only been here in Canada a few days, but has already shown that with his aggressive driving style, he can hold his own with the Canadian stars. Ash checking his mirrors. That little bobble has brought Bill Adam to within striking distance, and Adam now will take advantage of that slight miscue by Roland Ash, and at the end of the back straightaway, Adam will move through here down to the inside to pick up the 2nd place position. Bill Adam now chasing after this man, Richard Spenard, the leader, who comes up in a Namero. There you can see the interval back to Bill Adam, then Roland Ash, Laporte, and now Bieri is up in a 5th.
Adam is really charged all the way from 9th to 2nd, but you know, it's no secret, really. Adam told me about his strategy for today's race.
The strategy is to beat Richard. we've been having some great battles lately, and unfortunately I've been second place now the last 2 times. And second is fun, and particularly when you have a good race like what the last one was at Motorsport, it's very satisfying. But from an ego standpoint, the fellas on the crew, they want to win as much as I do, and the only way that they can show that their car is the best is for me to do a job with it. So I have to win this weekend.
Well, here's a winner by virtue of just being here. Kurt Kostman is back in the race in his Denon Auto Audio Porsche. It's an interesting sponsorship because they get support from all of their dealers, including Tabangi Electronics, Stereo Emporium, and Leighton Audio.
Here is Kostman's teammate David Tennyson as he pulls up alongside of Jacques Bienvenu, and Tennyson will pick up the position. Bienvenu and Tennyson, of course, started up on the front row. Bienvenu has been sliding backwards, and after spinning out in Namaro, Tennyson has been charging to the front. There is the leader, Spinard, going through, followed by the number 3 car of Bill Adam. And look at this race for third. Ash, Laporte, Bieri, and the number 16, that is the red Porsche there, of Jacques Liliev. Tennyson, number 19, continues to claw his way up through the top 10 after that incident on the opening lap with Bienvenu through Namaro Corner. Bill Adam, and then you can see the gap back to Roland Ash, and here is Laporte all over Ash now for the 3rd place position. Just the car length separating Roland Ash and Richard Laporte. As Laporte tried to move down to the inside, Ash shut the door. Spinard goes through. Bill Adam in second. The gap back to the race for third. And then we've got another superb 3-way battle for 5th. The number 40 car there, that's the black Porsche of Uli Bieri, followed by Jacques Liliev in the red car. And then right behind them is Norman Boyer.
Ash has been looking a little loose the past few laps. And yes, he's going to let Richard Laporte go past. With his all-out driving style, I really think he's literally driven the rubber right off his Pirelli P0s.
Further back as they head into the far hairpin, here is Liliev inside of Bieri. The 2 drivers just about ran each other off the racetrack. Boyer now comes up to challenge Bieri. Those 3 drivers just inches apart as they head up the back straightaway, but a courageous move by Jacques Liliev. Here is the battle now for that 3rd place position. Going into the S's, Laporte holds 3rd, then it is Ash in 4th. Liliev now the number 16 car there runs 5th.
Richard Laporte has now moved up into the number 3 spot. It's an amazing story that he's been able to do this, hang into 3rd place and stay with the leaders despite a mechanical problem.
The car has an ABS system, so when you brake, the wheels never lock. I've been driving the car like that for the last 1.5 years, but now my system is out of function and there's no way we could repair it for this weekend. So I have to start learning braking the normal way, and it's very hard at this point.
Well, he's making it look easy running 3rd just ahead of Roland Ash. And here's a look at the leaderboard. Spinard, Adam, Laporte, Ash, then Liliev in the top 5. The second 5, Uli Bieri is 6th, followed by Boyer, Rick Bai, David Tennyson, and Chris Gleason to round out the top 10.
That has been a great run by Tennyson back up into the top 10. Here is Seabrook going through on Bienvenu, and this has not been a good run here for Jacques Bienvenu. He had to have been delighted with his qualifying effort, but he's had all kinds of problems here during the race. Spinard, still your leader. Laporte going through. Here's the battle now for 4th between Roland Ash in the Diet 7-Up guest car and Liliev, who pulls up alongside as they head up the back straightaway. The West German driver, Ash, and Jacques Liliev, the Quebec Formula 4 driver who came up through into the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup a year ago. And now Liliev moves around to pick up the 4th place position. Ash gets shuffled back into 5th. Then it is Uli Bieri in the 40 car running back in 6th.
And Pat, the Bienvenu problem has forced Jacques into the pits. You can see the crew. They're just standing by. They're not jumping around. And I think the decision has been made to retire.
Tough break there for Jacques. As we said, a great run in qualifying, but he's had his problems in the race. From the camera on board Rick Bai's car, Rick Bai running up in the 8th place position. You can watch as David Tennyson continues to charge after the Reebok Porsche driver as they head up the back straightaway. That is Bai in the yellow car, and now Tennyson from the onboard camera in Tennyson's car. He will pull up alongside, and David Tennyson has taken over the 8th place position. A lovely pass there by Tennyson as he worked the draft nicely and then made his way around Rick Bai. The leader, Spinard, in that number 4 Motormaster Porsche up in Namaro, followed by the 2nd place driver Bill Adam. It is Richard Laporte now all by himself in the 3rd place spot. Liliev in the red car here runs 4th. Then Uli Bieri in the 40 car 5th. Roland Ash is 6th. 7th then would be the 86 car of Norman Boyer. We'll be back at Mont Tremblant for the conclusion of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup in a moment.
Welcome back to Mont Tremblant, Quebec for the championship final of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Series. I'm Brian McGorman with Pat Gonzalez, and we're watching the pit straight because Normand Boyer is about to finally pass Roland Ash.
Nice move there by Boyer. Ash appears to have maybe pushed that car a little bit too much in the opening laps, and he just doesn't have the tires left here in the closing stages, and there goes Boyer. He is right off the track. Ash fighting the steering wheel to keep his car under control, but look at Boyer's car. He has creamed the left side of it, Brian.
Normand Boyer, I think, is going to be all right. They're worried about fire. There's Boyer dodging out of the car. He's out of the way now, but the car is not in a very good position. Normand Boyer, at least we know for sure, is all right, and they'll try to move that car out of the way. Meanwhile, let's look at what happened just behind his crash. David Tennyson coming over the top of the hill at turn 1, gets his car sideways, locks up the brakes, does a great job to spin the car to a stop on the inside of the circuit. And then by Gleason, and as the marshal frantically waves the yellow flag, David Seabrook goes by. 1, 2, 3 cars go by, but undaunted, David throws the car into gear, puts his foot down, and gets back into it.
Here is David Tennyson as we continue on the replay. He goes by the other incident, that of course the Normand Boyer car. Kosman, number 21, and the 50 car, that is the black Porsche of David King. They've been having their own personal battle throughout this one, as for the moment, Kosman manages to stay a car length ahead of King. Terry Martell, one of the slower cars on the racetrack, as Spinard comes up to put him a lap down, followed closely now by Bill Adam. Adam trying to make a late race charge to the front to catch Spinard, who has led since the opening lap when he got around in Namuro after David Tennyson spun his car out while leading. Spinard coming up on Martell here. That is the black number 44 car. He moves to the left side as Martell shows Spinard the way around. Richard will move around Martell and put him a lap down. Up in Namuro, I think Spinard might have lost a little bit of time there trying to get around Martell, as Bill Adam, there you can see the difference between the leader Spinard and the second place driver Bill Adam. The drivers will get the last lap indication now as they come up across the line, and there it is. Spinard goes through. Martell motions to Adam to make the pass to the right side as he moves around the 44 car as well. Less than a lap to go. Richard Spinard, your leader, followed by Bill Adam as they come up on the waved yellow situation here with the Normand Boyer car still sitting on the racetrack. Spinard goes through. Bill Adam also around the incident, and for the moment, Spinard has a bit of a cushion. There you can see part of the great crowd on hand here at Mont Tremblant. Roland Ash in the Diet 7-Up Porsche, running back in the 6th place position after running up as high as 2nd earlier. Richard Spinard and Bill Adam. That has been the story of the race. Spinard over the crest of the hill for the final time. He has 5 victories out of the 7 previous events, looking for win number 6 here in 1989. Bill Adam also a victor, but only in 1 event. And now Laporte comes through past Martell as he runs in the 3rd place position. Richard Spinard up in Namuro now for the final time, where he took the lead on lap 1. Bill Adam is right there, but Spinard with 1 corner to go will win his 6th race of the season. And of course, he's already wrapped up the championship. There's the checkered flag for Spinard. Number 3, Bill Adam will finish in 2nd. And there is number 5, Richard Laporte. He will finish 3rd. That should move him up in the 2nd in the overall point standings.
The pit crew's getting ready to wrap it up. The marshals preparing to wrap up Normand Boyer's wreck in the downtown Fine Cars Motomaster team, taking 6 wins in 8 races to wrap up a tremendous season for our 1989 champion, Richard Spinard. There's a look at the final standings. Spinard well ahead of Richard Laporte. Bill Adam finishes 3rd. Uli Bieri 4th. David Tennyson is in 5th place with 130 points. Rounding out the top 10, Chris Gleason is 6th. Normand Boyer 7th. Ludwig Heimrath 8th. Rick By finished 9th, and Ted Powell finishes in 10th place. The celebrations on hand for today's top 3 finishers. There's the 2nd place finisher, Bill Adam, who finishes 3rd overall in the driver's standings. But the story of today, as well as the story of this entire season of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Championship Series, has been Richard Spinard, who wins it today. 6 wins in 8 races. A tremendous season for the 1989 Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup champion, Richard Spinard.
Well, Richard climbing to the top of the victory podium, joking there with Bill Adam, congratulating now Richard Laporte. And, of course, the wreath around his neck and the trophy high in the air.
Great way to cap the season for Richard Spinard, a record-setting season for Richard.
Well, Brian, I think it was fitting that Richard would win the final race here at Mont Tremblant. He dominated the series like no other driver has done in the history of the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup, winning those 6 races. And There's going to be a lot of drivers going after him next year, but he'll be one tough driver to beat, I'm sure of that.
Thanks for watching. For Pat Gonzalez, I'm Brian McGorman. We'll see you next season for the Rothmans Porsche Turbo Cup Championship Series.